Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. Next to me, who's just pumped a squat, is Rue. I've got to tell you about all of his fantastic training that he's been going on, which is why he's sleeping earlier. Amanda, oh my God, thank you for your kind donation. How does it get any better than this? So much good stuff to talk with you about tonight. If I seem a little bit, what would be the term for it? Hyperkinetic. We'll use that term. If I seem a little hyperkinetic tonight, I was up at 2 a.m. this morning for an interview on Coast to Coast, the largest, I guess, woo-woo radio show in the nation, maybe in the world. And so I'm a little bit, I don't know if we call it off or on my A game right now. I've taken a bunch of notes to help you to illuminate the darkness. And each time I go into the notes, because of the state I'm in since I've been up since early this morning, I get a little bit lost. I get more information and more information and more information. So Mark is commenting on Rue popping a squat. We're going to see where we go here tonight. With that said, let me update you on a few things. First off, Baby Hannah, if you've been following our journey, Baby Hannah has been using the bouncy. She turns 7 months old tomorrow, and she is starting to do dance moves, literal dance moves with the bouncy that we haven't taught her, which is really, really fascinating. Advanced moves. Tonight she did a triple spin. She never did a single spin before today. Half split, and I'm just dumbfounded at this moment. So we will have video for you coming up. Rue, who's over here to my side, he was getting a little bit, well, we almost lost him this summer if you've been following our journey. And so this fall, we've been trying to find ways to help him get his health and his strength back. And I finally figured out what that is. We've been practicing flight lessons. Yes, Mr. Floyd, we do strongly believe that Baby Hannah had a past life as a dancer. She does moves up on her toes. She can do Michael Jackson moves. And I'm not just saying that, it's kind of mind-blowing. Rue has always dreamed, as far as I can tell, of being an eagle. And so now I've been doing flight lessons with Rue, holding him, and he'll flap his wings, and he's up to about 20 seconds of straight flapping right now, which for a rooster is probably really, really good. And so he's tired here tonight, but he has had a great day on the flight deck. Let's see if there's anything else I want to cover with you. We do have our new Mystic School of Mystics class coming up this Wednesday. This whole month will be about illuminating the darkness, cranking up the light within, turning this darkest time of year into the lightest time, and really helping you shift your life as we go into the new year with you glowing and growing incredibly bright. So this is a life-changing month with the School of Mystics. And we even have a coupon code here that Anne and Aya can put inside there. With that said, I'm going to take a deep breath. What the angels and guides wanted me to share with you first is a little bit of my journey into darkness or into the light. See, I love this time of year. I love it when the days grow short, because to me, it means we can see the light the brightest. It's kind of cool and wild. Now, I'm a sunshine kind of guy, as you can imagine. I'm someone who likes hanging out in the West with it as bright and sunny as it can get. But I also love the darkest days. So the darkest days provide contrast. They provide an ability to see the light with incredible detail and incredible sharpness. So years ago, way back when, we'll go chronologically here. In 2004, I did a big bike ride. I did a 5,000-mile, 40-day solo unsupported bike ride. I was nuts. Across the country to help students and adults with attention deficit disorder. Now, on my best/most challenging day, I had gone through Colorado, had to muster up the courage to continue because I was leaving my dear dogs, Pumpkin and Sour, behind. Got out on the road, had just sold my very, very fast, souped up by Evel Knievel's nephew motorcycle to continue on the road. There on the road, I was praying and got a magical donor that would help me the entire way. I was praying to the angels. Then I hit this road in the dark where it was this old, broken down, busted up highway with cracks on the road every 10 or 12 feet. And I found the cracks were so big, I couldn't ride my bike. And so I was walking from about 8 o'clock at night until, I don't know, somewhere around 1 o'clock. At this point, I found that 18-wheelers can blow you off the road when you're walking and they drive past. I had no idea that the air that they push was powerful enough to cause you to tumble. It was crazy. But by 1 o'clock, I was cold. It had been raining. I was wet, and it was an inky soup darkness, kind of a darkness like you experience this time of year if you live in the Northern Hemisphere. And I didn't know how I was going to continue. And so I prayed to the angels. I prayed for warmth. I prayed for light. I prayed for the strength to continue. This was almost 20 years ago. And kind of the wildest thing happened. At some point, the clouds parted and there was a near full moon. And it illuminated the way, finding peyote. Thank you so much for your kind donation, finding peyote. And there's actually a lot to talk with you about peyote, although that's kind of off topic for tonight. But having spent 6.5 years on and off the Navajo reservation, do I have a story or two to share with you? With that said, I went to the angels for illumination. The clouds parted. I was shown the way. What was most interesting to me is that before that moment, I was scared in the dark. My headlight had conked out hours earlier. This was a trip of magic. The headlight had been donated to me by a highway patrol officer in or just outside of Reno, Nevada. It's kind of wild, all these magical synchronicities. But I had been scared of the dark. I had been, the egoic mind gets, what's the best way to put it? Things always appear brighter in the daytime because the egoic mind settles down. But in the evenings, in the night, and this time of the year, the egoic mind loses control, or actually tries to gain control of us. And so I'm walking down the side of the highway, thunk, 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 thunk. And it was something like on and off 56 miles of broken highway. And the egoic mind is going nuts until the clouds parted and the moon began to show itself. Probably around 1 in the morning. I managed to limp into a motel around 3. They said they were full and there was no place, but they actually cleaned out a hotel room that they used for storage and found a place for me. Woohoo! Right on, it was what, the Kansas or Nebraska border. I think Nebraska. How does it get any better than this? Since that day, I have never been scared of the dark. Instead, I flip it on its head and I see something sacred and special. In the dark, I see the light. Understand, this is a world of opposites, a world of paradoxes. In the darkness, you can see the light better. What does that mean? Well, if there's an ember, well, let's say there's a cigarette on the side of the highway. If there's a burning cigarette on the side of the highway and it's summertime, do you see it? No. Hopefully it's not a dry and hot summertime. Lisa Matson, welcome to the Mystic Circle. How does it get any better than this? And I have a beautiful video to upload tonight as well to the Mystic Circle. In the summer, in the light, you don't see the light unless it's huge. Even then it's hard to see. That's why there are no fireworks in the daytime. In the inky stillness and darkness of the winter. Oh, Melissa, thank you too. How does it get any better than this? You guys are awesome here tonight. Melissa, lots and lots of love. And we love you too. Understand, we're all one. I love you, Melissa. I love you. In the inky darkness, you can see a cigarette, just the embers of it burning. This is not by accident. These are hints and clues from the universe to help you in the darkest moments to be able to see the brightest light, to understand there is so much more going on than meets the eye. which I was discovering that evening. Now, let's take it forward a couple years later. And I've actually got some photos on this. In 2006, I was sponsored by Rollerblade because I'd been a professional cyclist. I was also a speed skater. And I was sponsored by Rollerblade to do a world record skate across the country. Crazy. 4,000 miles, 40 days, solo, unsupported. Well, I wasn't going to be unsupported, but solo on that one. Whew. And I ended up with my first near-death experience. And out of that experience to heal, I found myself out on the trails around Boulder, Colorado. And I started going out earlier and earlier and earlier in the morning. Something was drawing me into the darkness. And something wild occurred. First off, around dawn, I started to see light swirling around trees like an updraft, a spiral of light. It was pretty cool. Second thing is, it was a sunrise one morning, and I was on the Boulder Creek bike path, just walking or hobbling along with my crutches. I wasn't walking. I was crutch. And because I had a new titanium femur and a new titanium hip, I saw a dewdrop on a leaf at sunrise. And I saw all these rays of light refracting through the dewdrop and showing me all the colors of the rainbow. It wasn't visible in bright daylight, only in the first light of the day. It came out of the darkness. And I grabbed my camera. Actually, I grabbed at that time a little video camera, got it to take still pictures, and started taking such amazing still pictures of the light that they ended up in studios, both in Boulder, Colorado, and Japan, and in Germany, from what I was capturing with the light. And I went on tonight. I don't have my old hard drives here at all, but I went on tonight onto Flickr, and you can look up Flickr Michael Sandler. And this was on the first day that I started taking photos, and I've got to be able to do this. Literally the first day with my camera, because I'm seeing so much light. What do I do with this? And that is from the parking lot where I parked. Focus in. There we go. Come on. There we go. That is one of like the first 3 images that I saw. This was a few weeks later that I saw. I just kept on seeing light in the darkness before dawn and after sunset. And I was able, that was another early one. I was able to capture it. Those are all mine there. I was able to capture it and bring it back into this humble little camera that had no features on it at all. I was seeing the light. You have the ability to see the light too. It's craziness. It takes a little bit of practice. It takes a little bit of play. But if you spend a little time in the darkness each day, a little time outside, go for a walk before sunset. If you can get away from the city lights, go for a walk after sunset. Now, it's cold this time of year, but there's something special and sacred in the darkness. Your eyes begin to attune to a different frequency. You start to see things differently. First off, the darkness stops becoming so dark. I can remember going for 12, 13-mile runs with these moccasins with like cactus around on these dry Colorado trails or almost like fields. I can't remember the word for it. I was going off of the trails in the dark with my dog Sawa at this point by my side, without tripping or falling, being able to see in the darkness. But something more than that happens. And I'm going to encourage you to do one exercise this week. It's going to be one exercise alone. Now, if you join our School of Mystics, and I highly, highly encourage you to do that, on Wednesday, I'm going to teach you so many more tools to play with the darkness, make the darkness your friend, illuminate yourself from the inside out, and really begin to broadcast and beam out light, which changes your world and changes everybody else's world around you. Janice, thank you so much for your kind donation. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? And I think I missed one from Dharma Cohen because it says 1111. And I think that could only be Dharma. I love you, Dharma. I love you, Dharma. I love you, Dharma. And if it's somebody else who donated 1111, then I love you too. And I love you too. And I love you too. And I ain't taking it back. I love you, Dharma. So spending time in the darkness shifted my ability to see, started to make the rest of the world light around me, which is just so what it is. One last story. Let's tell one last story. I can remember the day my Uncle Joe passed. Dear, dear, dear uncle, my cousin Mark's dad, and my cousin Mark being the aqua bike athlete, the national champion at aqua bike, fourth in the world championships, who got me going again. How does it get any better than this? His dad passed around solstice many, many years ago. And I was out by a place called the National Center for Atmospheric Research in Boulder, Colorado. And I'm tromping around in the darkness and I'm thinking of Uncle Joe. And first you start to get beams of purple light on the horizon, inky dark purple. And you get, well, I guess there's blues and there's purples. And then it gradually evolves into oranges and reds. And it was just such this amazing sea of color that started coming out of the darkness as I was saying prayers to my uncle on the other side of the veil. Your loved ones and angels and guides can reach you through the darkness by playing with the light. If you've ever had, a big day coming up and you look outside and it's a crazy sunrise or a crazy sunset, that's a sign. If you've ever had something special coming up or a big decision to make and there is a flicker of light, particularly in the darkness, that is a sign as well. The crazy thing about the darkness is in the darkness, the veil, the separation between here and not here, between nowhere and now here, is at its thinnest. So we have this expression, it's always darkest before the dawn. What does that expression really mean? It means not only is light coming, but it will be incredibly easy to see the dark through the pitch black darkness. It is such an incredible message of hope. At the point when it is the darkest, we think all hope is lost. Actually, at that point, all hope is gained. Because in the darkness, you will see anything. You will see angels. You will see guides. It's like mile 20 of a marathon. You pray, you will get answers to your prayers. So I can't say for sure where we're going to go with the rest of this evening because I'm doing half channeled, half inspired talking here tonight. I have all these notes and I'm probably driving my team crazy. I love you, Anne. I love you, Aya, because I am just off the notes here tonight talking about playing in the darkness. But if you can do one thing this week, I want you to take 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes in the morning before the sun rises, or late at night if that's the only time you've got, and that's perfect too. Close your eyes, put on a blindfold if you can. We have these blindfolds here. I love them. They off-gas in the beginning, so they stink initially. You can find them on Amazon. They're called mindfolds, and they block out all light. And I want you to take at least 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes a day if you can in the darkness. And here's what I want you to do. Keep your eyes open in the darkness. That's why I like this thing called a mindfold or going into a closet or such a dark inner room. Keep your eyes open. Here's what happens. And you can put a conscious focus on it too. That's fine. Things start to get brighter. I'm not talking about the room getting brighter. Your inner vision starts to get brighter and brighter and brighter still. I like to say so bright that you need to wear shades. When I go to sleep and my eyes are open with that mindfold on, things get incredibly bright. Why? What did I mention? The veil is at its thinnest in the darkness. What in the world's the veil? The veil is this amnesic condition that we almost all suffer from. I don't know if baby Hannah suffers from it yet or not. We'll find out when she's fully expressing words, but it's something that we almost all experience, where we can't see where we came from. We can't see who we are. We can't see our loved ones that are there all around us in this moment. We can't see the light. So let you in on a little secret. You may have heard this from an NDE or before. It's freaking bright on the other side. It is so incredibly bright. Now, from my 2 NDEs, I didn't get to experience the full tunnel or anything of that sort, which is probably thankful because I went far enough for me. But I could feel this incredible light. It changed my life. It imprinted on me at such a high level. You wonder why I'm the woohoo guy. And on that note, if you go to dailywoohoo.com, I've got a now daily newsletter, and it's finally started. Thank you, team member Bavik, for getting it going. We have a daily newsletter. It comes out each morning to bring your vibration up, to bring you back into the light. dailywoohoo.com. Point being, that energy that I'm expressing here comes from dancing, playing, and being in the light, which comes from dancing, playing, and being in the darkness, and cultivating that illumination from within. That's what I want for you. These darkest days are the coolest, greatest, best, most amazing days to cultivate the light from within, to remember where we came from. Simplest way to do it, practice taking a few minutes each day, bathing in the darkness and seeing if it becomes light, because it will. Again, going full circle, we live in a world of contrast, a world where, well, if you look at a photographer, if you look at photography, it is contrast that sharpens things, that brings things out, that allows them to pop. In the darkness, easiest to see the light. So spend time each day in the darkness, just a few minutes, and see if that light starts to expand before you. And then, since we're talking about angels here tonight, the other side of the veil, again, we talk about it's an amnesic condition where we forget who and what we are, where we came from, and we don't realize. We think the veil means to out there, up there, something like that. It's really in here because we are actually inside of the totality of everything. It's like we're in a little fishbowl and a giant universe, and somebody's pulled the curtains down around the fishbowl, or sort of like Rue sleeps in a soft kennel at night, and we put a blanket over the soft kennel so it's a little bit dark, so Rue will sleep in. He goes to sleep here, and then in the middle of the night, I whisk him off to a soft kennel. It's as if we're living in a soft kennel with a blanket down. That's the veil. And it appears that we're in a state of total darkness. It could actually be incredibly bright outside if we took off that curtain. That's what we call the veil. That's the amnesic condition, not realizing it's just a blanket. Well, Easy Fun Sunshine is mentioning something about 3 a.m. in the day. That's what I call the holy hour. Getting up 3, 4, 5 in the morning is when it is brightest, in a sense, on the other side of the veil, and the easiest to communicate with that other side. What does this mean? I want you reaching out to your angels, reaching out to your guides, reaching out to loved ones, to whomever, whatever, on the other side, asking them to bring you signs during this time of year, asking them to play with light during this time of year, and asking them to help illuminate your life. This is the time of year where it's easiest to make greatest differences in the light that is within you. Why? Well, summertime, hard to see that cigarette butt. This time of year, incredibly easy. Now, if we put 2 cigarette butts out there, you'll see that incredibly easy. In other words, light is amplified in the darkness. It's so much easier to see. Now, I'm going to cover at least one more topic, then we'll jump into some questions. We may finish up with a very short meditation and get me and I guess Rue off to bed quickly, expeditiously this evening, as I might be running on spiritual fumes, shall we say right now. People say, Michael, you say there's an inner light. I feel pretty dim. Well, okay, I'll buy that. Right now, there is a sense of collective darkness, of gloom and doom over all of us by design. I talked about in Coast to Coast AM this morning, I talked about us being stuck in the matrix. I don't look at the matrix as this big bad thing, as this thing that's trying to crush us, as this cabal that's trying to blah, 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 blah. I don't buy that stuff. What I buy is a heaviness designed to keep us down in this lower level energy until we've had enough and we pop up. We say, I don't want it anymore. I'm choosing the light. And all of a sudden, bing, like Luke Skywalker, up we go. We start playing with the force instead of going to the dark side. Hello, these words have meaning behind them. So the matrix is designed to keep us down until we choose to do something different, which is choose to go and play in and be with the light. So if I was to give you, and then I want to talk about atomic bombs. Okay, we'll talk about atomic bombs in a minute. I want to give you a second exercise. Forgive me, I'm having fun here tonight. Play with this stuff. So we've got, 5 minutes a day of playing in the darkness. Cool. And then what I'd like is you to put out a request for the light. Yeah, okay, that's a second thing. Put out a request. Let's give you a third thing. Can you handle it? 3 things. And hopefully I and Ann are taking notes here so that you can follow this. It's not usual for me to give you 3 things to do tonight. More in the school of mystics, kind and gently, of course. I want you to look for the light. Look for the light. What does that mean? Look for things that are going right, large or small. It doesn't matter. Scale doesn't matter at all to the universe. Oh my God, what a terrible day. And this happened and that happened and the other thing happened. And then I found this feather. In fact, this is a rue feather. Then I found this feather. What does this mean? It means not only is this an angel thing, but this came from the light. One ember, one spark of light in the darkness can illuminate everything. Each and every day, each and every morning, each and every evening, look for one thing that brings you into the light. Why am I talking about this stuff? Well, I'm an alchemist. I'm a mystic. I'm, in a sense, a magician. I'm helping you learn how to morph and shift energy, how to morph and shift the darkness into the light. Again, amplification this time of year means that one tiny little thing in the light, when focused on, can illuminate the entire world. Quite literally. My God, do I want to change the world? What does that mean? The world doesn't need fixing, but I want to help raise everybody to a higher vibration, to a higher level, to shift humanity from a place of gloom and doom and pain and suffering to a place of song, a place of dance, a place of revelry, a place of divine inspiration. And that happens by helping illuminate your light and your light and your light and your light and your light. And as you begin to glow and grow brighter, the person next to you begins to glow and grow brighter as well. And the person next to him begins to glow and grow. And the person next to him begins to glow and grow. And we get a whole world of glowing and growing. And guess what happens when you're glowing bright? First off, the whole planet's illuminated like the sun. Secondly, stuff, there's the technical term, doesn't go down. The fighting doesn't go down. The bipartisanship doesn't happen. None of this stuff takes place because you're glowing and growing in the light. What is the light? It is love, pure love. Light is pure love. When I had my second near-death experience, dear God, I'm broken waist down, stuck in a creek outside of Lake Tahoe. And my blood pressure went to zero. I had stopped breathing. I was given a choice, and I'm there, waist not deep. My legs are out prone. It's not that deep at all. But I'm there trying to make it until the EMTs get to me, or until fire crew. I didn't know who. I was in the backcountry. We couldn't even get a phone to work. Somebody had to go run and take Jessica's phone to actually call for help. What did I do to stay alive? I looked up at what was the most magnificent sun up above. It's the Lake Tahoe sun, although maybe it was even brighter than that. I don't know. To me, it was just the most amazing light. I breathed in light. I sent out love. 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 And I'm there in between, the whole body fully spasming, being racked in such incredible pain. When the emergency crews got there, they were all freaked out. I had no blood pressure. They weren't sure they could keep me alive. They're fighting to get me helicopters in time. It was pure craziness. But I was alive because I was bathing myself in the light. All you need is a spark of that divine light. That light keeps you and me alive. Here's the secret, though. That light is you and me. You are the light. On my dog, my coyote mix, coyote hybrid. She's about 2/3 coyote, pumpkin. Oh, I miss pumpkin. Wish I had a photo to show you a pumpkin here tonight. Maybe next time I will. And actually, she's in those Flickr images. Let's see if I can get to those Flickr images. Do I have them up? Hold on one second. Maybe I can show you. There's Flickr. And I know I had an image of pumpkin on my Flickr page. So bear with me, play some. There she is. Okay. So let's show you a picture of pumpkin here. Oh, I love you, pumpkin. This was my coyote hybrid pumpkin, or I was hers. Oh my God, how does it? And that is right at sunrise. We always went and played in the darkness together. How does it get any better than this? And on Pumpkin's last day here on Earth, we had her at the vets. We were trying one last effort to keep her alive. And the vet showed us with, I don't know if it was an electron microscope, some extremely high-powered microscope, showed us something that burned into Jessica and my consciousness. Here were pumpkin cells, and they were clearly struggling, to say the least. Pumpkin's cells were emitting light. They were glowing. You could see that they were sickly, but they were glowing, and people are talking about pumpkin. So let's see if I can show you one more time, pumpkin. Oh. And you can see she's wearing a blinky light right there, because she would go wander off and play in the trails and come back, except for the one time she wandered off to say hi to other coyotes, and they wanted to invite her back for dinner, and they wanted her to be the dinner. Thankfully, I was able to get her back. Her cells were all emitting light, even though they were sick. Every single cell in your body is emitting light as well. In fact, and you go, well, I don't emit light. I don't glow light. Well, that's just the physics of things. But let's really take the physics of things. You heard of this thing called the hydrogen bomb? What is this? Or an atomic bomb? Well, in very layman's terms, they broke a hydrogen bond. One simple bond, you could say, in a water molecule. And what did it do? Ba-boom! As bright as the sun itself from one bond. Layman's terms, but true. How many different hydrogen bonds do you think you have in your body? You have probably as many as there are stars in the known universe. Think about it. One bond created, or breaking one bond, had the energy, that atomic bomb, that was as bright as the sun. How about an infinite number of those bonds? That's what's inside of you. That's how much light is inside of each and every one of us. So when we say, I don't have light, I'm not glowing bright, this, that, or the other, that's the egoic mind having a hissy fit and trying to keep you in that state of darkness. Hello, these words are important. That doesn't let you see who and what you truly are. You are the light. You came from the light. You couldn't be anything else but the light. So we get to envision this. We get to think about this. We get to embody the darkness to embody the light. I want you playing with the darkness and looking for the light. Look for light everywhere around you. Look for light, no, not so much in dark alleys. Let's not play in there, but look for light under the rocks. Look for light behind the trees. Look for lights in the closet. Spend time going to the bathroom, for instance, in the middle of the night with your eyes closed, and make a game out of seeing in the dark. You've got it. Practice perfect frequency light. Practice preferred frequency light. Practice seeing the light in the darkness. You can do it. And what it does, because this game at the end of the day, and then I'll open it up to questions, this is a frequency game, as is that person's name. It is not a game about light or dark. It is not a game about good or bad. It is not a game about anyone or anything. It is a game about a vibratory energy called a frequency. When we plug into the light, we are vibrating at a high level. What is this white light, this amazing white light that is on the other side of the veil, that every one of us has experienced, that every one of us has bathed in, that every one of us is, and that every one of us will see again? It is all frequencies put together at once. That's what white light is. All frequencies put together at once. That's called the frequency of love. That's what you are. As you begin to play with light out of the darkness, your frequency starts going up and up and up and up, higher and higher and higher still. Until not only do you remember that you are the light, not only do you carry yourself differently, not only do you attract more light and light experiences into your life, but you become that higher vibrational frequency of pure love. Now, it's hard to stay there all of the time. I play this game a lot. I got to tell you, I am like the opposite of perfect. Human? Oh, you betcha. But I bounce back to the light really, really fast, quick, fast. You can do the same. Mary Parker, turn on your higher light. Neil Diamond, he was a neighbor that we never got to meet in Basalt, Colorado. Mary, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Or E.T., phone home. Heart light, absolutely. These words out of Hollywood actually have meaning. That's what's so freaky tiki about the movies coming out of there, most of them today. But even that is darkness to help show our way back to the light. So I want you playing in the light. I want you bathing in the light. And I want you doing this with paradoxes, with opposites, by saying, wow, the darkest, inkiest time of year. Not ickiest, inkiest time of year. Oh, you want one more crazy thing? Well, all of the holidays are really about celebrating solstice, celebrating the darkest days of year, which can help us turn toward the light. And all of the holidays this time of year play with light. Hanukkah and a menorah, representing a candle that made it 8 miraculous days and pierced the darkness. You've got Christmas trees. You've got Rudolph. Hello. All of this is about playing with light in the darkness and how much light is amplified and easier to see when in the dark. That's what I want you playing with. All right. Want to open it up to questions. Couple last things. First off, we do have our School of Mystics this month. We are going to really help you transform this darkness into light, crank up that, yes, ET heart light within you, and help you become the walking, talking, brightest sun in the world while here on earth. And that changes everything about your experience, who and what you attract, and every single thing that takes place in your life changes as we are cranking up that light, as we are helping you to grow incredibly bright. And secondly, join the Daily Woohoo newsletter. It's dailywoohoo.com, where each and every morning you get this woohoo energy. If you're liking the energy, woohoo, I should be saying that quietly because baby Hannah is asleep. Whoops, sorry, baby Hannah. Woohoo. If you like this woohoo energy and you want to get this on a daily basis, costs you nothing. Join the dailywoohoo.com. Yeah, join the Daily Woohoo newsletter, where you get a daily dose of woohoo, which helps you bring your vibration and bring your energy and bring your light up. And Mark got the first edition today because the first edition did just come out today. It took us a couple weeks to get it technically going. Thank you, Bobak. Thank you, Dream Team. Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Anne. All right. Let's open it up briefly to some questions. And Aya, if you can find a link to our most recent meditation on our meditation channel, if you wouldn't mind posting that for people as well. And I see some beautiful questions coming in here. So I'm sorry, Anne and Aya, that I've driven you nuts and I have gone completely and beautifully off and on track here this evening. But this is where I was pulled and called to go. All right. Questions from Tues Rescue. I'm 1 week into the automatic writing experience, and loving it. I sometimes use the Inspire Nation meditations for preparation. Is there one that is recommended specifically for automatic writing? Thank you. I'm going to give you a strange answer, Tues Rescue. There is an exercise in our automatic writing program and in our book called the 10 count. That is the easiest one to start with for automatic writing for a specific reason, because the Inspire Nation meditations, as great as they are, may actually stimulate your mind a little bit too much for the writing centers. So we interviewed Dr. Andrew Newberg, an amazing brain scientist, neuroscientist, for our book, The Automatic Writing Experience, and for our automatic writing program. And what he found is that he did brain scans on long-term automatic writing practitioners. And he looked at the entire brain, looked at blood flow, sees what areas lit up and what areas powered down. And he found two startling things when people dove into automatic writing. First, this part of the brain, your frontal lobe, the part responsible for executive functions, for where do I go? What do I do? How do I get things done? How do I write? Forgive me, I'm about to sneeze. We're probably going to sneeze. Excuse me. We might be good. Sorry about that. The executive functions, the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for getting things done and for writing. When we went into automatic writing, or when long-term practitioners went into automatic writing, Dr. Andrew Newberg found that part of the brain powered down, which means you don't have to be able to write. You don't have to be able to journal. You don't have to be a great writer to be able to do automatic writing, because your writing center of the brain powers down. Secondly, this part of your brain called the parietal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for your sense of self, hello, your ego, powered down as well, and allows you to plug into something greater than yourself. So the challenge, and it doesn't always take place, but the challenge potentially of guided meditations is you start hearing something and the frontal lobe starts to power up, or you go on a journey and the parietal lobe starts to wake up when we want to power them down. So in our programs, I recommend the 10 count. If we're not in the programs, I recommend sitting, being, drooling, taking 10 minutes and not doing anything and then diving in. With that said, Tues Rescue, I love the meditations on our meditation channel. If that's working for you, groovy, and keep it up and keep on doing what you're doing, Tues Rescue. How does it get any better than this? Just be 777. Any episodes about Dark Night of the Soul? There are several on the YouTube channel. I'm thinking of one in particular from a woman from Tues, New Mexico. So you might be able to look it up by Dark Night of the Soul. You might be able to look it up by the word Tues. Sniffles. Hold on one second. Also, what are my thoughts about the subject of dark night of the soul? Any tips to help move through it faster? Forgive me. Embrace it. Don't try to move through it faster. The fastest way through, the fastest way out is in. It's a world of paradoxes. The dark night of the soul is actually a time of greatest upgrades. Sort of like me being broken and in a creek bed, blood pressure failing, all systems, shutting down, was actually the time of greatest upgrades for me. The dark night of the soul is never what we think it is. First off, there's the darkness of the dawn, or dark is before the dawn. But more importantly, in the dark, the light pierces us the greatest. You are getting continuous upgrades in the dark night of the soul. So we be with it. We embrace it. If we can, we give thanks for it. Yes, there are times where we say some profanity and go to it. But the more that we can embrace this crazy, awful, terrible, nightmarish experience, the more something incredible can come out of it. So just be 777, and I send you so much love. Last thoughts on this. Humans have really warped sense of time, and there's certainly Einstein and relativity, but here's what we know about time. When it comes to humanity, we greatly overestimate what we can do in a day. And then we get, myself included, really frustrated at the end of the day when we didn't get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, Z done in the day. And we radically underestimate what we can do in a lifetime. Radically underestimate. What this has to do with the dark night of the soul is, inside the dark night of the soul, it seems like it's taking forever. Forever. Now, we have a 7-month-old tomorrow, and we're still sleeping. Barely a lot of nights. Other nights are great. Woohoo. But we can say, oh my God, when am I going to get to sleep? On the other hand, the 7 months has flown by. Just be 777, which means in the moment, it seems like it takes forever, but it's actually going so incredibly quickly. And there is a quickening, and it is real. The amplification and the amplitude of the energy of this planet is radically changing. So time is flying by. So just sit with it, be with it, backstroke in it. It will pass sooner than you know it. And if you take that attitude with you, then when you come out of it, you're like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe how much I've changed, how much I've grown, how much I learned, how much I know. And you may even give thank you for it, or at the very least, you will be appreciative of who you've become because of the experience. Speaking like with my twin titanium femurs, hips, and all these other stuff, which really weren't fun experiences, even though we can glorify them and say, well, you had near-death experience. Yeah, near-death means you almost died, man. It means you weren't having a fun day. This too shall pass. Be with it in the moment. All right. Next, let's go to Denise. Hi, Denise. I've been writing to Archangel Michael. Very, very cool. Most of the time, it's the collective that comes through. Can you help me understand who the collective is with Archangel Michael? I sort of know. I'm going to call it the boardroom. So the collective could be, and it morphs. This is the thing. So when I was on Coast to Coast earlier today, I was asked, well, who do you go specific? Actually, I had 2 interviews today. It might have been the second one. But I was asked, who do I go to in automatic writing, and can I get their names? And what you're doing in automatic writing is the first prayer that you say is an intention prayer. It creates this bubble of love and light that helps you reach up to the highest level and call in assistance from there. That assistance comes from the collective or your higher team. It is not one angel or one spirit that comes and speaks to you. Now, in my case, we lost a daughter this past year in utero, baby Miracle. She now spearheads the collective for me. And she's like, Daddy, I've got them all together. I will speak for all of them. The collective, though, is whomever is needed most for you at that time. Different angels will step forward. There aren't just one or two or three angels by your side. There aren't just the 12 archangels by your side. There is a layer of angel and a layer of angel and a layer of angel. In fact, in the darkness is the easiest time to call them in and feel your angels giving you a bear hug, for instance, because they are always there. So, Archangel Michael can certainly be part of that collective. That is the first angel that I call in every single day. But there are other angels who are going to step forward, and it will morph and change at the highest level depending on what you need. Practice preferred frequency light. How do you feel about DMT, the chemical that our pineal gland secretes, or the spirit molecule? I'm going to say love it, but I don't love it lightly. I don't look at DMT or peyote or ayahuasca or any of these things as recreational. I would say if you want more recreation than that, drive a car over your foot. These are not substances to be taken lightly. And I highly recommend, I'm the opposite of a teetotaler, I recommend that they're done with a guide or with a shaman to help guide you into what we call the underworld. I've been in there as well through ceremony. Actually, I've been in there through ceremony. I've been there with NDEs. I've been there with pain. I've been there with chanting. I've been there with a bunch of other practices. And that DMT molecule is absolutely amazing at helping us on our journey. Once you have one of these journeys, you never see the world the same way again. It just helps to have a guide on your path, to know what you're seeing, to know where you want to go, and to help you use the experience rather than getting hooked by the pyrotechnics, the fireworks of it, which could be good fireworks or really could be bad fireworks. Bad, I'll put in quotes, meaning you can get a dark night of the soul as a journey. Oh boy, yes, you can have a vision quest that is not much fun. But if you have somebody to illuminate, playing with light here, or to lead the way as a wayfarer, carrying that lantern before you, it helps you. And setting intention, always set intention before you go and play with teacher molecules. Always set intention. It can help you to have the most amazing, relatively easier journey for your highest good and the highest good of all. Take a few more questions and then we'll dive into a very brief meditation. Ice Wolf 2844. Michael, do you have to talk to them out loud? No. It's all frequency. It's all energy. It may help to speak to them out loud, just like it may help. And I find it actually bypasses the egoic mind much better when we write things down versus conversing in our head. But there are no rules. Angels can hear your thoughts. Thought is frequency. Thought is energy. Is there more of a energy behind saying it? No, but what I would do, because I'm a believer in singing even to the angels, is look for the highest way within or inside or outside of yourself, Ice Wolf, to emote, to have a feeling state when you talk to your angels, whatever that means for you. The feeling state trumps the vehicle, speaking, writing, dancing, any day of the week. Jean Pullman. It might be Jean, but Jean sounds good tonight. Can you explain what you saw when you had your NDE? Did you see the light? Did you see angels? Did you see heaven? Jean, I got what I'm going to call NDE light. First experience, there was probably a lot being seen, but that's not what I consciously remember. All I consciously remember is there was one me flying through the air trying to avoid a baby that was being taught how to walk on a bike path before me, and I'm on my skates. I remember flying through the air wondering if I'm going to be able to do my skate. And the next thing you know, I can see myself hit the ground. I can feel myself hit the ground. I can hear that. I don't know how to express it. There's a sound that bone makes that you hear within yourself, these big bones of a dull thud. And then total peace, total and complete silence, total and complete bliss. I wasn't filled with dread, with regret, with pain, and there was some pain to be had. I was filled with total and complete bliss. Undescribable bliss. When the EMTs came to me, they all asked the same question because I'm laying there on the ground. I'm bleeding out inside. Thankfully, something had told me, hello, angels had told me to flip my left leg over my right because pieces of bone were sticking into the femoral artery and they were about to perforate it. And so they all asked me, did you hit your head? And I'm like, no. And they're like, why do you have such a beaming ear to ear grin? Because I'm like, life is good if you didn't hit your head. Is because of the bliss I had just experienced. The second NDE, I had everything tunnel in with me, in on me. I was given a choice. I wasn't shown an escalator. I wasn't shown the light, but I was given a very conscious choice. Michael, do you want to go into the light, so to speak? Do you want to go into the bliss where everything is going to be blissful? Everything is going to be perfect. Or do you want to fight like hell to stay here? I had just told Jessica, I feel like I'm ready to have kids. You don't tell your baby doll, so to speak, that you're ready to have kids and then check out on her. I had an instant knowing of how long it would take for the EMTs to get there, how long it would take to get to the hospital, how long it would take before I would heal, which was a year. And yet I chose door B, but now racked in pain in that creek bed that I was stuck in outside of Lake Tahoe after this experience. This was a hiking fall. I received in the form of frequency or energy, download after download after download that I want to say took me years to unpack, but I'm probably still unpacking them. And many of them are still coming through and messages from automatic writing. I was given so much information. Now, you ask interesting questions, a couple more questions. Did I see light? Felt it. Did I see angels? Felt them. Did I see heaven? Experienced it. I got the sensory the version rather than, or the kinesthetic version rather than the optical or auditory version. I was changed from what I saw, felt, and heard from the inside. So before NDE number 1, April 2nd, 2006, I say that because that's my new birthday. Before April 2nd, 2006, I was a pretty linear, straight-laced guy, relatively. I was still very spiritual. I was still on this mystical path. But after the moment of impact, we're all one. I could see, feel, and know, not from a glow, but I knew we were all one. Yes, I was able to see light differently after that. I understood things about the making of the universe that I didn't understand before. I was more awake and aware, sort of freed from the matrix that I wasn't before. There's a term in Japanese, and then we'll move on here, called satori, and that means an instant awakening. I had an instant awakening, but I want to be very careful. Awakening can be used to describe maybe an enlightenment experience. I ain't enlightened. I just woke up to an understanding of the totality of things that I didn't have before. Couple last questions here. Yeah, let's take 2 last questions. And I want to start challenging my team to cut off questions sooner because I don't know how to say no to people here. And I don't know if I got everybody. Janice, welcome to the Mystic Circle. Amanda, I think I thanked you, but thank you again, thank you again, thank you again. And sending so much love your way. Okay. Country Carpenter, what does it mean when you see a ball of light the size of a baseball come out of your chest, hover at arm's length, and then goes back inside of your chest? Well, first off, that is the light that is inside of you. In fact, we were playing in the School of Mystics last week of cultivating this light. Actually, we were doing it in the form of an energy ball and putting it into our hearts. There is always a ball of light spinning inside of here. However, when it comes out to arm's length and then it comes back in, It is a message specifically from the universe country carpenter to remind you who and what you are. Rather than being in a linear state, rather than being in a fear-based state, rather than being in a state where you're so focused just on this experience right here, you are being challenged to a higher level experience, and you're being shown and gifted of what you are on the other side of the veil. You are a spinning ball of light. You are a sun. They got that all confused in the Bible. We are the sun. We come from the sun. We will return to the sun, and we will be the sun. We are the source light that is everything. We aren't all of everything, but we are a part of that everything. And let's see if this will be the last question of the evening. Casey, Michelle, Michael, any ritual you suggest for this magic morning angel connection time? It's interesting. Casey, when you go to the carpenter, you tend to get, they tend to see the hammer and the nails. I'm an automatic writing guy. I can't help it. Whether I tried to promote it or not, automaticwriting.com, and if you get the book, you get all these bonus gifts and stuff with it, or we've got live classes and stuff. But automatic writing is the process I go to each and every morning to communicate with the angels for one specific reason. It's the easiest way for them to talk back and for me to hear them. Now, I can hear the angels. I can hear them right now. I can hear an angelic song. Ah, really quite cool. Actually reminds me of Baby Hana too. But in automatic writing, I don't have the egoic mind which mucks things up. What does that mean? I can hear angels 24/7. Do I live an angelic life? Do I always act from the angels? Do I always act for my highest good? Do I never kind of throw temper tantrums or have the ego go awry? No. The egoic mind fights back strong. Yet in a process like automatic writing, you can push the egoic mind to the side and get more pure words and pure wisdom and pure guidance from the angels, and then ask questions and get more of that. So that's my recommended go-to. Now, Casey, you don't have to do that. My mentor, Jack, who passed away at 93 years young. He was our best man at 89 years, not 89 years young at our wedding. He was a Course in Miracles guy, a Course in Miracles guy. He would wake up and he would go quiet and he would talk to the angels in bed, eyes closed, and listen and just hang out in bed for a while. He was really, really good at it. It's why he started harassing me about my life path, about my career path, about where I was, about where I was going. And he still does it now on the other side of the veil, just about to this day. I can still hear him in my ear right now going, "Damn it, Michael." Actually, he's going right now, "Damn it, I approve." Wow, that's rare. Thank you, Jack. He loves where I'm going right now. He loves it, loves it, loves it, loves it, loves it. But his way was, I believe, cultivated over, he would say, maybe up till age 60, maybe even beyond that. His egoic mind was too strong for him to listen to those words of wisdom. But once he started diving into A Course in Miracles, he was able to recognize love versus fear. He was able to recognize what was coming from his angels versus what was coming from his fear-based mind. And he was able to make the difference. But it took him, I'm hearing from Jack right now, a long time to do it. Automatic writing radically shortens the process where you can do it almost right away and start to be able to tell the difference. So with that, and that's not trying to do a shameless plug, it is automaticwriting.com. Of course, you can get like a used book on Amazon or something, I don't know, $1 or $2. So I just want you to learn it, Casey. I want you to learn it. I want you to practice it. I want you to play with it. That will be my last note that I know of for the evening. Who knows? Maybe there'll be something else. Which is, when it comes to communicating with your angels, when it comes to communicating with guides, it starts off as kind of a smoke signal. Is that really smoke? Is that a cloud? It becomes a very weak dial-up connection. Then it becomes a strong dial-up connection, then a cable connection. And then if you keep practicing, a fiber optic connection. And then if you keep practicing, it becomes this fiber optic tunnel until you are connected 24/7 with your angels and guides. It's a cumulative exponential practice. Day one, you get very little. Day two, you start to get a tiny bit more. Day three, you get a little more. Day four, and so on and so forth. First with energy, then with words. What this means is the more, Casey, that you bathe yourself in this light, in the energy of the angels, the more that you're in communion or communication with your angels, the more it starts to affect you, or there's a term in science, myelinated superhighway. Neurons that fire together wire together. Brain cells that are out here, and this brain cell goes, hello, and this brain cell goes, I heard you. And then they go, hello, I heard you. Hello, I heard you. And they form this connection. And then they get wrapped with a sheath of fat, which actually makes it as fast as the speed of light for thoughts to traverse that. That's a myelinated superhighway, or basically a superconductor of information. The more that you go, hello, angels. Hi there, Casey. Hello, angels. Hi there, Casey. Hi, hello, angels. Hi there, Casey. Hello. Handshake. Connect. The more that you start to hear from them all the time during the day. That's what I want for you, Casey. That's what I want for everyone here, because I'm convinced the whole world will shift and change if we're not so much listening to the small fear-based mind going, believe me, my mind isn't as much as anybody else's. But if we choose and practice listening to something greater than ourselves, a bigger mind, if you don't want greater than yourself, listening to your higher self, you that's on the other side of the veil that never left there. This is only a fraction of you. It changes everything about your experience here on earth. You want to talk about glowing brighter? That is how you do it. It is connecting each and every day. With that said, let us dive into a really, really short meditation. And I believe, Junior is completely conked out, and I will probably be completely conked out too in just a few short minutes. But do come join us. I would love to see you there, or at least get the daily woohoo, and let me help shift your vibration on a daily basis. You read just a tiny bit. Read sounds like work. You bathe in these words of goodness each and every day, and you find your energy going up and up and up. It's pretty cool. All right. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Let's go into meditation. I need a sip of water first. Let me take a brief sip, but I think we're going to keep this real short. And if you have a link to our meditation channel and you can help steer people over there, that would be most awesome. All right. So let's have you sit good and comfortably in your chair. I like sitting up nice and tall as a tuning fork, kind of an antenna to the universe, but sit any which way you want. I just would love it if your feet can touch the floor any which way you'd want. If your hands can be on your thighs or in your lap, you're going to be patting your legs there. It's something I've been playing with baby Hannah and patting her legs, and now she's tapping to a beat. Who knew a 7-month-old could tap to a beat? Apparently, anyway, I'm so proud. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. I hope you heard that. That was the sound of love that Rue makes, specifically when he's asking for people to give each other a hug. He makes that sound. And that's where we're going for this meditation. This is a meditation of being hugged by the angels. So let's try that again. We're going to breathe in through the nose, nice and deep, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. One more time. In and out. As we continue to breathe in and out through the nose, I want you to imagine that we have all come together tonight in a giant prayer circle. Everybody watching this video, past, future, and present, we are all holding hands in one giant circle. We breathe in together and out together. In together and out together. And in and out. Now, as we keep breathing in and out, I want you to imagine that this circle is in a giant field of darkness. It's a safe field. It's just east of the Rocky Mountains. I brought you to Boulder, Colorado. But it's this incredible field. If you did open your eyes, you'd see a twinkle of stars. You'd see a silhouette of mountains on the horizon. And then it starts to grow darker and darker and darker still, until you're into this inky, jet black darkness. All you sense is the air going in, the air going out, and not even the person by your side, but just a sense of love to your right and love to your left as you breathe in and breathe out. Now, as you continue to breathe in and out, it starts to get darker and darker and darker still. Can you see the darkness? Can you see how inky jet black it is? If you're like me, the more that you start to focus on pure darkness, the lighter it begins to get. And all of a sudden, as you think about darkness, it starts getting lighter. As you think more about darkness, it starts getting brighter. As you think more about darkness, it's almost starting to get daylight bright before your closed eyes. As you continue to think about darkness, it is now starting to seem as bright as the sun, whether or not you have lights on before you. As you continue to think of this inky, jet black darkness, it is so incredibly bright, you want to wear shades. This is the light that is within you. This is the light that you come from. This is the light of the stars that you are made of. Every cell in your being literally was an atom in the sun, not metaphorically. You were the sun. You are the sun. You'll return to the sun. And you beam such incredible light. You've got your eyes closed. And it is so incredibly bright now because you are the sun. You are the light. And we're going to bathe in this light for just a moment here. And then we're going to call in the angels. So breathe in and take in all of this amazing light. And breathe out and just see this light before you. Breathe in, take in even more of this incredible light, and breathe out, see even more of this light before you. Breathe in, take in all of this light. And if you want to have some real fun, breathe out and send out light and love. Breathe in light, send out light and love to whomever you desire, or to the whole world at large. Breathe in light, send out love. Breathe in light, send out love. And one more time, breathe in light and send out love. And now that you are glowing bright, now that you're glowing brighter than the sun, now that you are glowing and growing brighter than all of the light in the galaxy, did you know they've now discovered white holes, and that it turns out that black holes illuminate the entire galaxy with the collection of stars that make up that black hole. Who knew? You emit such incredible light, more light than the entire cosmos, than the entire known universe. And as you continue to breathe in and out this light, I want you to call on a favorite angel, or heck, call on all of the angels. I'm going to just call on Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, please join me. Please join everyone here this evening. Please show us your presence and help us feel your presence by putting your feathery wings around our shoulders and around our arms. Whew. Thank you for helping us to feel your feathers. Thank you for helping us to feel your wings. Archangel Michael, would you please embrace everyone here in the most giant, forget about bear hug, but giant angelic hug in the world, and hold each of us and let us know you are here. And Archangel Michael, will you help this world and help inside and outside of each and every one of us? Help us to glow and grow even brighter with each breath, with each moment, that we now may take this light with us when we leave this meditation, wherever we may go. You breathe in and you see that light. You breathe out and you feel the angelic embrace. In with the light, out the embrace. In with that light and out with that embrace, as you are glowing and growing brighter and brighter still, supported and hugged and loved by Archangel Michael. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? You can give thanks to Archangel Michael, thanks to your angels, thanks to your guides, thanks to whomever, or maybe many, has your back here and now in this moment. So I like to say thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Bathe in this light, be this light, and stay in this light as long as you would like. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? And that's a mighty woohoo. So, love you guys so, 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 so much. Hope to see you for our School of Mystics this month, where we are going to crank up the light to the max. Go to dailywoohoo.com and sign up for our newsletter, where I'm going to help you be the light and raise your vibration each and every day. Love you guys so, so much. I see Jessica working on equipment for baby Hannah in the background. It may mean that baby Hannah is actually awake, in which case I have got some work to do. So I love you guys so, 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 so much. Have the most amazing evening, or wherever it may be, evening, day, or morning ahead, and keep on shining bright like the light that you are. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Aya. Thank you, Bobak. Thank you, Dream Team. Thank you, Angels. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Kitties. Thank you, Rue. And thank you, you. Love you guys so, so much. Be well. Enjoy your eve.